As a small business owner, have you ever felt overwhelmed by the pressure of choosing the right hire or leading a team? Or have you ever found yourself tolerating a bad hire because you fear trying and failing again as you repeat the hiring process? If so, you're not alone, and you are in the right place. Welcome to the Growing Your Team podcast. The Growing Your Team podcast teaches business owners like you to expand your unique business by teaching you to master the hiring and team management process. Hiring and managing a team does not have to be a challenge. You just have to learn to do it right. And the Growing Your Team podcast teaches you how to become a confident leader who hires right every single time. Now, let's jump into the show where each episode you will learn tips on how to identify what type of help you need on your team, how to source amazing candidates, how to conduct interviews that lead you to your ideal team member, how to onboard successfully, and how to lead every person in your business so you have a team of rock stars who you are happy to pay every single paycheck. So let's jump in and teach you how to hire like a pro. Hello, Jamie Van Kuyk here, and welcome back to the Growing Your Team podcast. So I'm sitting here in my office today going through episode 267 of the podcast. Are these resume red flags actually red flags? Getting everything ready for the marketing when all of a sudden something hit me. Something that I know I naturally do during the hiring process when I'm reviewing resumes, but I don't think it's common for most people to do this. So during that episode, we talked about things that people use as red flags when reviewing resumes to disqualify people from the hiring process or moving forward with an interview that maybe shouldn't be. That are maybe things that need more consideration, or we're just really judging people way too harshly for things that we shouldn't be because everyone's human. But it made me think about how I review resumes. So I was using the language in some of the marketing about how we use these resume red flags to quickly put people into the no pile. If they have these, nope, I'm not looking any farther. But that's not actually how I review resumes. When I am reviewing a resume, I am not looking for what disqualifies a person. I'm actually looking for, is this person qualified? So this is actually something that I have seen in many of my clients. They will look for reasons not to interview somebody. Sometimes it's even when I pass them along candidates after that candidate had a fantastic first round interview that they start to dissect everything to say, I don't want to hire this person because, and sometimes they get really nitpicky. And I've noticed that it is the same thing with reviewing resumes. People will start to get nitpicky on a resume to say, I shouldn't interview this person because they are a no because. And I find that when I am reviewing resumes, it is actually the opposite that gives us the best candidates. It's the opposite that allows us to have the best people in our interview process. We look to see, does this person have what is needed to qualify for an interview? So we're not looking necessarily for what's missing. We're not looking to say or read between the lines and say, well, this person says this, so I'm interpreting it as this when I really want this. We're just saying, does this person have what I need? So you'll hear me talk all the time about our must-have criteria and our nice-to-have criteria. So when reviewing resumes, we typically look for our must-have criteria. Now, if you haven't heard me talk about that at all or recently, just a reminder, our must-have criteria are things someone needs in order to be qualified for a job. When it comes to reviewing resumes, sometimes that list will look a little bit different than getting the job because we can't always see or properly determine things on a resume. So we sometimes need to adjust our list to say, what can I see on a resume that makes it so this person is qualified for an interview? And then during the interview, we go deeper into some areas or explore more areas to see if someone is really qualified. So when we're looking for those three things, I don't care what else is on someone's resume. If they have the three things that I'm looking for, those three must-have items that I want to see on a resume, that person's getting an interview. I'm not going to spend time dissecting every little part of that resume to say, but they have this here, or they have this there. Very rarely is there something that's going to be on someone's resume that should disqualify them when they have everything that we want to see in a candidate. There are some exceptions to this. So, for example, working with clients in the past, clients that really want certifications for their team members. There are some industries, some certifications that are not necessarily like required regulatory certifications, where it's more having a certification here is nice, or having a certain certification here is required, but you can go to any certifying body to get the certification. So sometimes it just depends on focus of what your certification actually will be. I've worked with clients there that says, if someone has a certification from XYZ, they're typically not a good fit because that certification process takes someone through a completely different focus than what we focus on here. So if they've been spending their career doing what that certification does, they're just not going to have they're not going to fit in with our culture. They're not going to focus on the right things with our clients. So for example, that one was in the personal training space. So it was a certification where the philosophy was just completely different than what they train their clients. I also worked with a client that they said, if someone's coming from a specific employer, that's typically a red flag because, and they actually had really good valid reasons, where once again, it's that the way they approach things is completely different than the way that this company approaches things, and they just have had a lot of conflict. So if someone has been with that other company for anywhere over 2 years and they're coming directly from that company, it is typically that they align with that way of doing things, which is just completely different. So, but still, we wouldn't necessarily look those as a complete disqualifier, but it'd be some of those things that we would then just keep in mind for the interview and kind of talk more about as we go to interview that candidate. So I'm going to keep this short today, but I really just want that to be what you focus on. We are not reviewing resumes to figure out if someone is not qualified for an interview. We are reviewing resumes to determine if someone is qualified for an interview. And someone becomes not qualified for an interview simply because they don't have the right qualifiers. They don't become not qualified because we're going to nitpick and read between the lines and find reasons not to interview someone. If someone has the criteria to qualify for an interview them. Stop trying to be nitpicky and read between the lines and find reasons not to talk to someone. Because when you do that, I can almost guarantee that more times than not, you're going to disqualify your ideal candidate over something that you misinterpreted on their resume. So if they're qualified, they're qualified. Stop trying to focus on putting people into the no pile and just look at, does this person deserve to be in the yes pile? All right, so we're going to wrap up here for today. So if you have any questions on reviewing resumes, reach out. I'm happy to answer your questions, and good luck finding your ideal candidate. Are you ready to hire a new team member for your business, and you want to ensure you hire the person who can succeed in the role, make you happy, and positively impact your bottom line? Then let's talk and see how growing your team can help you master the art of hiring. Through bespoke hiring frameworks and comprehensive guidance, you will learn how to attract candidates who have the passion you desire and the skills needed to succeed. At Growing Your Team, women entrepreneurs and leaders work with us to help them expand their unique businesses by teaching them how to hire like a pro. Let's connect and see how we can help you. Send me an email at jamie@growingyourteam.com. That's Jamie, JAMIE @growingyourteam.com, or head on over to growingyourteam.com/jumpstart, with jumpstart being all one word, and let's talk about how you can become a confident leader who hires right every single time.